Oh, dang it. Let me kick that out real quick. All right, so we're going to have to figure that out. All right, welcome to Trucking with Liberty. Today we are going to be going over fuel prices, and I have to figure out how to. So this is going to be a kind of redneck way of doing it because these fuel apps do not let you share the screen. There is no way to do it. I got two phones right here. That's how we're going to do the fuel apps. But first, I want to start off talking about my experience with all of them. So we got the fuel apps. There are four fuel apps. You got Trucker Path, you got Relay, Truck Smarter, and Mudflap. Those are the four fuel apps. And then we will also talk about the fuel cards will be TCS, TVC Pro Driver, and the DIY Semi Fuel Card. And forgive me 1 second, I'm trying to get this started on my phone, but I was getting a really bad echo. I got to figure out how to mute this thing. All right. Really, it's still giving the audio. All right. Well, we'll have to see if this will work. I might just have to edit it each time. So I'm going to start off by giving my experience with each of these. Relay sucks. I'll just start off with that. Relay is the one I hate the absolute most. So the fuel apps, the benefit of the fuel apps, the fuel discount apps is they save the fuel price at whatever you book it at. So say, and it's normally for 24 hours. Say I want to get fuel. I'm going from Kansas City to Minneapolis. I know I'm going to be there within a day because they normally save it for a day. If you go ahead and reserve it, look on the fuel apps, compare all of them, and say the fuel apps are the cheapest other than Relay, then you could reserve it at that price. And the only asterisk to this idea is the fuel stations actually have the ability to delete your reservation. I've never had that happen to me. There have been some people that I've heard that actually have had that happen, and normally it's after midnight. So say you reserve it in the morning, you're going to be there by the evening, you should be fine, because supposedly the people that I've heard that say that they've had the fuel stop delete the reservation, it's been after that day, like the actual day. So Truck Smarter and Mudflap are the ones I use the most. Trucker Path, I've not had a whole lot of success with. Trucker Path, I don't know. I don't use it a whole lot because Mudflap and Truck Smarter, when you reserve it, it doesn't matter how much you fuel up. I mean, my truck only holds 200 gallons total, and I've never had it shut off the pumps before it was full. Trucker Path, you actually have to put in the number of gallons. So easy way around that is, say you think the truck's only going to hold 100 gallons. Reserve it for like 150 or 200 gallons, then you'll be safe. Relay, the reason I don't like Relay, and I found this out here recently, what Relay does is you reserve it at that price, it will change. It's not if, it will change. You could be at the pump, reserve it, and from the time you pump to the time you get in the station, I can almost guarantee you it'll change. They actually go off of like it goes down to like 10,000ths of a cent. So like most of them, it'll go to like hundredths of a cent fuel price. So like say it's 389.9. That's what most other fuel apps say, or 389. a gallon. This one goes way out there in the decimal point. So I've stopped using Relay for that reason because I got burnt on it once. I reserved it, didn't know the price was going to change, and it changed by like 30 or 40 cents. So not happy with Relay. Truck Smarter, out of all of them, Truck Smarter is the one I probably like the most. But I'll give you guys a little tidbit. The fuel apps do not beat the fuel cards the majority of the time. Mudflap, I used to love Mudflap. And the fuel apps in general, I used to love for the reason I got a credit card specifically for the fuel apps before I started getting really big into the fuel cards, because I got 1.5% cash back on my credit card. So say it's $3 a gallon, which normally is more than that. You're getting at least 5 cents back per gallon in cashback rewards. Mudflap did away with that because they charge like 2.1% fee, and I have a feeling the rest of the fuel apps are going to follow suit. And now Mudflap, well, they let me see if I can pull up Mudflap, and I'm going to actually pull up a station. We go up in Des Moines, and this is actually a station that is also on the DIY semi fuel card. But let's see if I can get this to work without it echoing real bad. But they started charging for this the credit cards, but they'll say they're giving you a better deal, but I think they might have raised or lowered the discount. Like the price has been raised, but if you get like 2,000 gallons a month with Mudflap, then it'll actually give you like 4 cents off per gallon in addition to whatever the discount is. So here, let me bring this up. I'm going to actually let's see. I have to remove myself. So apparently if I remove myself, I can't have the audio. Okay, sorry about this. Okay, I got the audio enabled through my phone. This might be the way we have to do it. But on Mudflap, if you look, it's $3.64 a gallon, right? But before this month, last month, whenever they started these month discount boosters, would it have actually been $3.60 a gallon? I don't know. This is what I'm curious about. All right. So that's what I'm curious about. I have a feeling Mudflap has actually decreased the discount they give you, because now it's not even close to some of the fuel cards that we will talk about. So the fuel apps I like for the primary purpose of if you could find it at a price that is at least close to the fuel card prices, then you get that cash back on your credit card. Other than with Mudflap, you might come out ahead. The fuel discount apps, though, or the fuel cards, unfortunately, I do not have the current fuel pricing for the DIY semi-fuel card. That one changes once a day. So from, I believe it's midnight to midnight, the prices won't change. But out of the fuel cards, that is the one I actually recommend the most. And we will go over the fuel card prices. Do you all have any questions? I'll go through the comments right quick before we get started. Royalty in the house. Speaking of DIY semi. Boom, let's go. Will Burners here. Let's go. And Trucker for Life. Thanks for the info. Yeah, no problem. Supposedly there is one of these apps that I'm not actually supposed to be sharing, but I'm actually going to be canceling it. Anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. Will Burner. Fuel apps won't work for me because I can't download those onto a Canadian phone. I also have trouble getting set up with certain cards in the US because they find it difficult to do a credit check. Well, all the fuel cards, I got 3 fuel cards. Where's it 2? I think I got 2 fuel cards. 3 fuel cards. I got TCS, TVC Pro Driver, and the DIY Semi fuel card. And none of them, as far as I know, did a credit check because they're all what they called secured payment or whatever. So TCS, TVC Pro Driver, I send them a ACH transfer, and that's how I put the money on there. So it's like a prepaid card, I guess you call it. DIY Semi fuel card, it was kind of like that, but he actually has his laid out better compared to all the other fuel cards, in my opinion. Because with his, you wire it over, and yes, you do have a wire fee for that instead of just ACH transfer, but you only do it one time. And I could be wrong on this because I was under the impression it was you had to transfer in a certain amount for the whole month. So I went crazy because I didn't want to blow through it and then have to wait for them to transfer it back in. So I sent them like $3,000 or $3,500. So I got that much I could use, but I'm actually finding out I think they pull from my checking account twice a week. So I think you could actually get by with going a lot less than what I did. But you could talk to Patty with Ambest, or you could also talk to DIY Semi about that. They can tell you the specifics. I probably misunderstood her whenever she explained it to me because it was a little different. Because you only have, with the DIY Semi fuel card, you only have a $75 activation or application fee, whatever they call it, and that wire transfer fee. Those are the only fees you have, other than whenever you do get fuel, you got a $1.50 transaction fee. And that might sound like a lot. Well, there's going to be one fuel card I'm going to go over. Like, it has nothing. Like, the other fuel card, it's got fees out of the yin-yang. Like, all the fees that it has are significantly higher, and there's more of them compared to, like, the DIY Semi fuel card I just said. The DIY Semi fuel card is actually the cheapest to maintain fuel card. So I don't know if it'd work for you, Will Burner, because since you're a Canadian, maybe they wouldn't let you. But I know it is secured, and like I said, all these are. So I don't know. It may not hurt to try one of them. The worst I could say is no, we can't help you with that because you're Canadian. I don't know. It kind of makes me wonder, what if, well, I don't know if that would work even, but what if you probably couldn't get a United States bank account? I don't know. You could find a really good friend and just have them get a fuel card for you, because I don't know how that would work either. But like for mine, for instance, but then they would need a checking account to pull it from, because they do have prepaid options. There has to be a way around it that I'm not thinking of, because all these, like the TVC, And the DIY semi fuel card had this option too, and the TCS, there's actually prepaid. You just send them a check or something. You can get a US bank account. I think that's all you need. I think, unless I'm missing something. If I were you, I'd actually call, well, check with DIY Semi, but the lady that actually runs it through Ambest on his fuel card is Patty. And as long as you got a US bank account that they can pull the funds from, because all they do is you'll send them an initial installment. And like I did, it was like 3,000 or 3,500. But I'm starting to think I didn't need to send that much because they pull from my account twice a week or once a week. And I never use anywhere close to that amount for the week, obviously. But I would check with them. Um, I'm going to pull up, actually, we'll start with the DIY semi fuel card. Let me see where I put this tab. This is the only one that I have this specific ability to do with. The DIY semi fuel card, I could actually look at all the discounts nationwide, well, other than the fuel apps, because he actually sends it in an email. So let me see if I could present this. All right. And this is the fuel discounts for the DIY semi fuel card. And we can compare this. And if y'all give me a route, I'll compare a specific route to all the fuel discounts I have access to. So, like, I primarily run here, I'm on the wrong screen to scroll. I primarily run Iowa and Missouri. And this right here is the price you would pay at the pump. So, like, what about Des Moines? Well, you'd get basically $3.63 a gallon at the Casey's in Des Moines. And get this, a DIY semi fuel card. Here, I'll pull this out right quick. Well, actually, it's any fuel card that you could get at that station, but you at this particular one, I'll highlight it because I was very surprised about this. I didn't realize this was the case at first. It's the Casey's. So you get Casey's rewards, but you also get Ambest, Ambucks. It's an Ambest truck stop, so you get double rewards. Not all of them do that, I found out. But Casey's, you actually could double up on rewards. It's really nice. But like, here, we'll go ahead and go over that. That's actually the one that I had pulled up on other phone. So, and this price is today's price. And normally they send a new updated price sheet each day. Normally he sends it anywhere. Yesterday he sent it at 2:00, and normally he sends it at least by 8 or 9 o'clock at night. So I was hoping to have the updated ones for tomorrow's pricing, but I talked to him and he said they actually did not send it to him today. So these will not be, they'll be accurate for today, but the discounts have gone down as far, or gotten greater. So like the prices that you would actually pay have gone down. I can guarantee you tomorrow, this truck stop will not be $3.63 a gallon, because for some weird reason, like all the other ones that normally the DIY semi fuel card kicks butt on are actually coming close or actually beating the DIY semi fuel card, other than one. And I'll get into that one here in a little bit. But let me see if I can get this up right. Probably have to mute myself so we don't get the echo. All right. I'm going to have to remove that. All right. So this is that same station. It was 363 on the DIY semi fuel card, 364 on Mudflat. Well, what is it on? Here, let me get this one all logged in. Sorry, they don't make this very easy to do because I can't actually screen share from the phone, so I gotta do it a really weird way. And this one's not even loading. How about? No. Oh, finally it loads. Okay. So yeah, on this one, and this is very odd. This one never beats. Here, I'll remove myself. Make this a little bit bigger. This one generally never beats the DIY semi fuel card, and actually, this is a truck stop. But now, shoot, now it refreshed. That one's the same truck stop. 360 a gallon. And then we'll go over to the oh shoot, we'll go to relay. Show you guys that one on relay. See how it is. This is the relay interface. So you scroll out, it's going to show you the best price. Scroll in. In that case, he doesn't actually do that, but the one in the Des Moines area, 363 a gallon. You're going to a Halifax Travel Center. Again, this is relay. You can reserve it at this price. It will not save the price. And then here, let's go ahead and do Truck Smarter. Truck Smarter, this is what you get for Iowa. We go over 377. And that's at Halifax, Iowa. And then you also got the Trucker Path. And the Trucker Path's not even want to load fuel stops for some reason. And Trucker Path is another one I rarely use. For this reason right here, because sometimes it won't even load the fuel stops. No results. All right. So TVC Pro Driver. This will be the discount for TVC Pro Driver. It's loading right now. Here, we're going to take it a really crazy angle. Big route for this one. But we're just going to be mostly looking at the
Iowa route up here. Sure. Right now it's loading. Give it a second. I put on a pretty big route for this. Still loading. So I'll be honest, this one, the prices are going to look really good, but I'll get into the trade-off. So, all right, here we go. So for Des Moines, in Des Moines, you get $3.55 a gallon on the TVC Pro Driver. $3.51 at the Casey's in Ames, Iowa. I was looking because I thought that. Oh, that's Quick Start. Okay, that's Quick Start. $3.51. So, all right. So let's go ahead and talk about this TVC Pro Driver because I'll show you the discounts. That one's $3.54 at the Loves. $3.47 in Cameron, Missouri on 35. And then you got $3.43 a gallon at the TA. And that's the cheapest on this whole route. And I got it routed Albert Lee to Harrisonville and then over to East St. Louis. And then back up to Davenport. All right, so here, we'll get back. Let's just go off the cheapest. And I do apologize, you guys that are trying to watch this. There is no better way. Here, no, that's not going to work. There is no better way for me to screen share this because a lot of these apps do not let me to actually capture it with my phone. But $3.43 a gallon, y'all are thinking, well, shoot, that beats all the other apps or fuel cards that I have brought up so far. What's the trade-off? Here, we'll go ahead and put this down.
So the trade-off with the TVC Pro Driver, high fees. So it had at least, and I'm trying to remember how high it was. I can't remember how much activation was, but the standard rate is $75 for EFS. I think it was the EFS card. It's the same card, and actually the same app as the DIY semi-fuel card goes through. So you have that activation fee. You have a $2.50 transaction fee. You have a 2% fee anytime you load money onto the card because it is a prepaid card. There's no way around any of those fees. And there is also a $60 a month fee. But, and this is what the salesman will say, and this is how they got me. So you got a $60 a month fee for to be able to have the card. But you also get other features. They give you like disability or spousal life insurance. It's like $50,000. It's nothing to write home about. The big selling point that, and this is why I signed up, I got inspection a couple months ago, and they caught me with the ABS light. So I had an ABS light. Their big selling point is, hey, we will fight your violation. If you sign up for us, we will have a lawyer go in and they will fight to get your CSA score clean. They even said that they would do that. Like, you just had to pay extra. So say you got a violation before you join, and then you join, you just have to pay extra and they will fight it. Win-win, right? I did that. I joined because of that, not because of the fuel card. I joined because of the legal protections. Cassius King talked about it in the past. His was a red light. He said that they did fight, and I have no reason to doubt him. But in my particular case, they did not fight at all. I sent it in, heard nothing. No lawyer contacted me. No one contacted the Missouri State Highway Patrol because that's who the violation was found by. Nothing. And I still to this day have not heard back from them about that violation. So as far as their legal protection, you might be better off getting a different form of legal protection. TVC Pro Driver is not where it's at. I found that out. I'm actually canceling the card tomorrow. That's a big part of the reason why I wanted to do this live feed tonight. So you do get good fuel discounts on there, but it's very much outweighed by the $60 a month monthly fee for the fuel card and legal protection. The 2% fee to load in the money, and the $2.50 transaction fee each time you get fuel. So I'm getting rid of that one. TCS fuel card. That one, I'm still debating whether or not I'm going to get rid of it or not. A big thing I like about that one, and that was actually the first fuel card I ever got. Right after I got my authority, that I signed up for that card pretty much immediately. That one never has the best discounts in here. I'll even, unless it shows my company name, I'll even show you how little I use it. Because each time I get fuel, I always go after the card with the best discount. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, here we go. I'll be able to. All right, 1 second, and I'll show you guys. Because, like I said, I compare all my fuel cards when I get fuel, and this is actually going to be a transaction history of how much I've used this card.
I'm going to remove myself. Okay, so, oh, it went back. All right, so these are all my transactions. This is hard to do too. So the last time I used it was this past week. And the actual reason why I did it this last week was only because I was trying to burn off all the money on my TVC Pro Driver card. But look at that. I've done, before last week, the last time was August, July, June, May, and then a huge gap. I didn't do it between May until February, beginning of February, in late January.
Shoot. Sorry. Thank you, Sterling. Yeah, so I have to, whenever I put the other phone up, it gets a really bad echo. So I have to mute this one. All right, so the TCS fuel card. It's a good backup fuel card, in my opinion. You are not going to knock it out of the ballpark with discounts on that app. It only has a $10 a month fee. So that is a big reason why I keep it, and there's no transaction fee. So literally, like the last transaction I had on that card, I put 32 gallons into the truck. And that was because I was just trying to burn off the rest of the money on my TVC Pro Driver fuel card because I don't know if I'm going to get that money back. They do charge to load money in unless you send a paper check. And I'm all about saving money any way I can. So literally, I'll mail a check and they will actually not charge anything. They'll put it on there. You just put in your account number. And I actually did find out here recently, you could actually do ACH transfer, and they also do not charge for that. So there's ways around the loading of the fuel card fees. So TCS, I'm probably not going to cancel. I'm going to cancel the TVC Pro Driver. TV, I think it's a good idea to have more than one fuel card. I do. Just TVs or geez, these. Yeah, TVC Pro Driver is not one I would recommend. You get really good discounts. There's no doubt about that. But the fees is what gets you. So when you got that many fees, do you really get really good discounts? In my opinion, no. Let me get back to the comments real quick. Sterling Will, listening in the background. Over here. Nice to see you, Sterling. Sterling, has a DIY semi fuel card been good? Yes. Okay, so you cannot. You're listening in the background. So let me pull the DIY semi fuel card back up because that one I've not used as much as I'd like here lately. But a large part of that is at the beginning, they had some hiccups and it wasn't showing the correct pricing. So this is the chart DIY sends out every day. Unfortunately, he didn't send one out today because he didn't get one for whatever reason. I don't know what the deal is, but this is the prices anywhere. And we are free. I talked to DIY. We're all free to share this. If you got the card, you could share this. They don't care. They actually want you to because they're wanting people to sign up. Ambest, I have no complaints about them at all. They are awesome. Name a place that you want to know what the price is on the DIY semi fuel card. I could tell you right here off of this spreadsheet. I mean, it's so in Missouri, you could be as let's go down Missouri. Missouri is as low as $3.58 a gallon. Yeah, it looks like that's the cheapest in Missouri. $3.58. Oh, $3.57 in Springfield, Ozark, Missouri. That's Springfield. That's basically Springfield. So $3.57. That's the king of the cheap fuel in Missouri for today. Again, this one's not as up to date as the other fuel cards are due to they didn't send out the latest one for whatever reason. If I were doing this after midnight, I could actually look on the app and tell you the exact price. But if y'all want to name a route, I'll show you guys a route. As far as Illinois, as far as the Midwest, that's generally the cheapest once you get rid of the IFTA. That's Indiana, but that's still a good price. Here you go. Oh, I fueled here before. That's a nice little truck stop. $3.95 a gallon with the, what is it, like 75 cents IFTA rate? I mean, that's a killer price for fuel in Illinois. Sterling, lost audio champ. Yeah. Like I said, anytime I pull out the other phone to avoid that echo, I have to mute the desktop mic. So let's see. I think I talked about all the fuel cards. TCS, in my opinion, that's a really good backup fuel card. So if you want to have more than one fuel card, TCS is a good backup to have. It's very little fee. You just got the basic $10 a month, other than there might be activation or application, whatever they want to call it, fee up front. TCS is a very good backup fuel card. DIY semi fuel card, in my opinion, is the best, and hence the reason why whenever I signed up for it, because I believe DIY actually sent me one of these spreadsheets before I even signed up. I could be wrong on that, but if he didn't send a spreadsheet, he told the prices in his live, and they are killer. There's one truck stop on I-70 I'll go to regularly. Normally, actually, as far as I-70, if you want the cheapest fuel in Missouri, and on this chart, I'm actually surprised it's not the cheapest for this particular day, is the St. Louis Energy Express Travel Center. For today, it was not the cheapest in Missouri, but generally it is. This one, and I don't know why, but in the whole state, generally this one on all the fuel cards is the cheapest in the whole state. But for today, it was more like along I-44 where you got the cheapest fuel. But Energy Express, you would not want to spend the night there. I'm not going to lie. It's right in the middle of downtown St. Louis, but they generally almost always have the cheapest fuel in Missouri. Oh, DIY Semi's back. Go on with it. Expose everybody. Yeah, I have been. I just went on a little, I guess you'd call it, rant about TVC Pro Driver. Like I said, I don't know if you were in here. I'm still a little bitter with them because I got an ABS violation, and they're like, oh yeah, sign up with us, we'll fight it. And I never heard anything back. They took my money and ran pretty much. So I am canceling that one tomorrow. It's the reason we're doing the live tonight. They do have better fuel discounts, but does it pay whenever you got to pay $60 a month? You got to pay a load-in fee of 2% of whatever you load in, 2%. And you have to pay a $2.50 transaction fee. And I probably forgot to mention that. DIY semi-fuel card, it's a $75 application fee. There is just a one-time wire fee. And for the, I think they called it secured. But the benefit of that, so like I started with 3,000 or 3,500. So that's the balance on your card, or credit, whatever you want to call it. So that's why when Will Burner asked about the credit check, I don't know if they really do a credit check. They have a credit option, but I don't know if they do a credit check, because it wouldn't, in my opinion, make a whole lot of sense or have a reason to do a credit check. Because if you got a secured card, they'll just cut you off once you go past that amount that you have on the card. So like I have 3,000 on the card right now. Well, if I can fuel up until I hit $3,000. Once I hit $3,000, they'll cut me off until they pull $3,000 from the account. So like last time I got fuel, say I used $500 worth of fuel, because I think they pull it twice a week. I could be wrong. It's either once or twice a week. But once they pull the money from your card, and on mine it's on Wednesday, they'll pull on Wednesday, I know for sure. Once they pull from that, then your balance goes back to the $3,000 or whatever you set it up at. There's no fee for that. Oh, DIY Semi. Wilburn, if you're still in here, you need to reach out to him about this fuel card. If you don't fill out the personal guarantee portion, they don't pull credit. So I assume, Wilburner, if you had a U.S. bank account, which you said you could get, you might be good on this. And this has really good fuel discounts. And I'm not just trying to sell you on this fuel card because I respect DIY Semi. It honestly has the best fuel discounts. TVC Pro Driver beats it, but once you consider the fees, does it really beat it? DIY Semi is a $1.50 transaction fee. And from what I understand, they have to put some kind of transaction fee on there. That's what the card requires. Like I believe if DIY Semi didn't put that on there, then he'd be in the hole for that money. Because say you only fuel 30 gallons, the little bit that he might get, which he can't get much with how competitive he gets on his portion. I couldn't imagine how much he spent trying to get this set up. But that fuel card actually, I'm not kidding, it's at least bare minimum competitive. It generally beats the TCS fuel card I have, and it generally beats all the fuel apps. Trucker Path, Truck Smarter, Relay, and Mudflap. Beats all of them. The only thing that the fuel apps other than Mudflap have going for them is you can use a credit card on them for no fee. And here's the DIY Semi. All the fees are the EFS minimum charge. Yeah, that's what I was assuming. So there you go. He doesn't mark up any of the fees. Like, I seriously can't believe this guy does so much for us. Does anyone want to name a route though? Here, DIY Semi, believe he's up Minnesota, Wisconsin area. $3.85, $3.84, $3.90 a gallon, Wisconsin, Minnesota. Oh, Minnesota's the cheaper one. I don't know what their IFTA rate is. I don't go up that area a whole lot. But Minnesota, $3.60 a gallon. But generally in the Midwest, Illinois is the cheapest. And like I said, Illinois, there was one for $3.90 a gallon today. $3.95. Woodhull Travel Plaza, which I've been to that one. That one's actually not too bad of a one. There's generally no way to get fuel. And that's another thing that I forgot to mention. So that's another small reason why I wanted to get rid of the TVC Pro Driver. I don't like major truck stops. I don't know what your all's opinion on those are, but the major truck stops, there's one big reason why I don't like them. It seems like almost every time I go to a major truck stop to get fuel, whether it be Love's or TA or Petro, I have to wait to get fuel. There's a line generally. Unless you go overnight, there's a line. And then even if you go overnight, people are sleeping at the dang pumps. Generally, you could look at any of these truck stops on here. These are all mom and pop truck stops, pretty much. I've never had to go up to one of these truck stops and wait in line to get fuel. Other than, and I think that one's on here. There is one. Here, let me see. This would be the one. St. Joe, Missouri. The Casey's in St. Joe, Missouri. That is the only truck stop, at least in the Midwest, where I have had to wait. That's like a mom and pop truck stop. But they only have, I think, 3 pumps. And they're generally the cheapest in that section of the state, which you can see on here, they are. They're cheaper than even Cameron, which is just about 30 or 60 miles east on 34. But yeah, that's basically all I got for you guys, though. Like I said, the DIY Semi fuel card is becoming my primary one. They do have a credit option. I know that. I did not go into it because, I'll be honest, at the beginning, he had just started offering it, and I just wanted to get the card as quick as I can. I honestly don't care much for credit either. If you do want a credit option, you can do it. I think it does take a little bit longer to get the card if you do that, because then they got to run your credit. Whereas if you just do the secured, I know mine is actually something else. I think mine actually might be like secured credit or something. Because there's 3 options. You got the credit option with the DIY semi-fuel card. You got just the plain old prepaid option, and then you got secured option. The prepaid option, you would have to pay a wire fee, I believe, each time you sent money in. There's also the secured option, the one I got. You just send a one-time wire fee. You got the wire fee that your bank charges, and then after that, they just do ACH transfer, which is no fee. Will Burner, can you check Hixton Travel Plaza, Hixton, Wisconsin? All right, I might have to look up where that is, but Wisconsin. So this is, oh boy. That's Wisconsin. With my fuel cards, pay $4 a gallon. All right, so let me look up to see where Hixton is right quick. Here, I'll do it on my phone right quick. I'm ignorant. I don't go to Wisconsin enough. So I literally have to look it up because, I mean, other than when back in 2011, and that was when I first started truck driving, and I worked for rail transport. I used to go up there all the time. I've not been up there since, really. I don't think I've even been up there under my own authority. Well, I've driven through it under my own authority. I've not actually went straight there. Okay, that's right off 94. Okay. So here. So Hixton. Yeah, I found it, Will Burner. It's exit 105 on 94. So let me see which one of the fuel stops on DIY semi's fuel card is going to be the closest. Okay. So I'm loading it up on the DIY semi fuel card right now. I'll see which. And if you know that area, you're probably going to know if one of these are actually closer to that. Unfortunately, I don't go to Wisconsin much. All right, so this doesn't look to be that far away. He's got, I forgot he got Speedway. Yes. I don't think that's even listed on his app. Yeah, okay. It's not. Okay, let me turn off this virtual background. If I can figure that out even. All right. It's not going to show. It's saying 359.7 a gallon on the DIY semi-fuel card. That's in New Lisbon. DIY semi New Lisbon. I'm not seeing that. You all got me all kinds of confused because I don't go up to this area. He said Hixton. Okay. Yeah, there's not one in Hixton. But you said $3.99 a gallon on your fuel card. Yeah, he's got a truck stop that he could use. Okay, yeah, here DIY Semi's got you. 387.9 in Boston. If you were coming from Minneapolis, why am I not seeing that one on? Oh, New Lisbon. I'm sorry. It's right here. There you go. Yeah, $3.90 a gallon. There you go, Wheel Burner. So that one actually has you beat. And here, I'll pull it up on the other ones too. All right. Do you got a route, Wheel Burner? Because whenever I do these apps, it always likes a route better. How about an origin and a destination? And then it'll pull up the cheapest fuel. Can you do an origin and a destination? Unless you say something, I'll just put in origin. Oh, that's why. I was wondering that because I remember you said Speedways is on there now. Okay, so Speedways is not included in this pricing file. And that Speedways that was a little bit northwest of Hickston was significantly cheaper. All right, so you know what? Unless you all want me to do the TVC Pro Driver, I'm not even going to do it. I'll do the TCS. We'll do Minneapolis, Minnesota to Chicago. Well, shoot. If I could get this thing to work. There we go. Thank you. Port Huron. Okay. Port Huron to Arcadia. There it is. Okay, so the first one I'm going to show you is going to be on the TCS fuel card. And then I'll show you on the DIY Semi fuel card. Do you want to see the fuel apps or not? Because I know you said that you can't use the fuel apps. Okay, I got to mute myself, otherwise y'all are going to get it. Let's get rid of the screen real quick. Gotta love the way that I have to do this right now. By the way, if my audio ever drops out and you all can't hear me, please let me know. But right now I'm going to mute myself and then I'm going to bring on the fuel discounts.
Okay, just the cards. Okay. Do you want to see the TVC Pro Driver or do you just want to do TCS and DIY Semi? This is the TCS fuel card, Wheel Burner. So your cheapest on that route, and here's the map view of it. That's the map view. So that's the map view. The cheapest one on TCS is $3.56.7 a gallon. And I believe, so let's see. Oh, actually, you're actually cheaper in Illinois, buddy. So the cheapest, no, I'm wrong. That's Speedway. That is the cheapest. That would be the price on TCS. And give me a moment, I'll get the...
All right, give me a moment and I will get the DIY Semi fuel card. That one I have to load a different on the other phone. So that one is Port Huron, Michigan to Arcadia, Wisconsin. Okay, that one's loading now. Let me get that one, the StreamYard pulled up. Do that. Okay. Dang it. I got the. Sorry, I have to change the camera. I had the front facing camera. Okay. There we go. Okay. So wheel burner. This is DIY semi-fuel card. The cheapest, $359.7 on the DIY semi-fuel card. Beloit, Wisconsin. Next cheapest. There's your fuel discounts. I don't know what the IFTA rate is in Wisconsin compared to like Chicago, Illinois. Some of these. So I have noticed. Put myself up here. I have noticed on some of these, you want to definitely do a street view of some of these places listed on these apps or fuel cards. I have run across some that are not actually truck stops. Like you couldn't get a truck in there unless it was bobtailed or something. But yeah, 359.7. And that's at Speedway in Beloit, Wisconsin. As far as, is that the, yeah, that's the Speedway. Show the list easier than the map. Okay. Oh shoot, I hit back. So none of these, the one thing that these fuel apps do have on the fuel cards is the apps are so much better on the fuel apps. I wish the fuel cards could be as easy to look at. Because like Mudflap, you just pull up the state and you see all the discounts. But this one you actually got to put it around. But I will say, here's the list. See that wheel burner? Here, I'll scroll down. So there are a lot of stations you could fuel at that are not like Ambest or discount stations, but like Quick Trip. If you want to fuel at Quick Trip, you can off the card as well. All these, the station takes the card. I mean, this is still below $4 a gallon. He's got a lot of stations. That's that. Oh, you said Hickson, but that New Lisbon. But I think DIY was saying there was something else. Yeah, $3.90 a gallon. I probably passed that. Yeah, I bet that one's it. Yeah, that New Lisbon. But now it.
But yeah, that's the discounts on the DIY semi for that route. Any other route y'all want to go over? Here, just I don't have the here.
My best price in Canada right now is $4.20 American. That's $5.73 Canadian per gallon. Oh my goodness. Wow. Yeah, I have been noticing that the prices have been going down around here at least. So that's part of the reason I wish I had the most up-to-date fuel pricing on the DIY semi fuel card, but it is what it is. Yeah, so if I had to rank them, DIY semi fuel card would definitely be the best. It has the most competitive fuel prices with least fees. TCS is a good backup. Like I said, I'm probably not going to cancel that. And if I wanted to rank the fuel apps, Mudflap, you can get away with ACH, and there's zero fee on that since they started the 2% fee for credit cards. Wilburn, you don't hear Canadian carriers complaining about fuel when it's $4 a gallon. Yeah, you start hearing us complain when it's $4 a gallon. That's for sure. At least I do. I mean, shoot, I was talking in Cassius King's feed with Cheap Freight Hauler about maybe even removing my hood mirrors, but I probably won't. It didn't sound like that would actually save much fuel. As far as the fuel apps, though, Mudflap, Trucker Path, if you get the thing to work, and Truck Smarter would be the ones I recommend for the fuel apps. I'm thinking that Mudflap's getting worse and worse almost every day, though. First, they started charging for the credit card fee. Now it seems like they're reducing the actual discount they give you because now they want you to get they'll give you the good discounts if you get 2,000 gallons a month. Well, I wouldn't, even if I tried to do that, because I run short haul and I try to run slow, like I do 55 or 60, I don't burn a whole lot of fuel. So even if I got all my fuel used in Mudflap, I wouldn't even come close to 2,000 gallons. So I don't really like the whole fact that they're going to base the discounts they give you off of how much you use the app. So honestly, I don't even try to go after the rewards on the Mudflap. I'll use it if it's the cheapest. Like I said, especially in Iowa and Missouri, which that's where I mostly run, the prices I could get on the Mudflap are generally higher than the DIY semi fuel card. And actually, that truck stop Casey's in Ankeny, Iowa, which is basically Des Moines, it was 10 cents higher on Mudflap than it was the DIY semi fuel card last time I got fuel there. Truck Smarter, they could have good prices and they lock in the price for 24 hours. Trucker Path, Truck Smarter, and Mudflap all lock in the price unless the truck stop cancels the reservation. You always have that gamble. Wilburn, leave the hood mirrors on, silly. I will. After talking with Cheap Freight Hauler and even Cash said the same thing. I'm not taking them off. Is there anything else y'all want to look at? Otherwise, I want to wrap it up. I am going to make separate videos. I was thinking about taking it from here, but I'll probably just make them from scratch about each fuel card and fuel app. Will Burner, we've got an early morning doctor's appointment and it's 10:40 here, so I'm off to bed. Good job. Thanks for all the good information. Yeah, I'm getting ready to wrap it up as well. I heard my wife come in just a half hour ago, so I went and spent time with her before I leave tomorrow. Unless anyone's got anything else, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Once again, here. Why not? I'll end it with this one on the screen. This is DIY semi-field discounts at other than Speedways, which he mentioned is not listed on here. Any discount he has for that card is listed on here, and this is the closest thing that you could get to being able to see what the price you'll pay is. I guess one other perk that I didn't even think of with this card is the price that you see on this is going to be the price for the whole day. Or say you look on the app, I guess the price doesn't fluctuate during the day. I could be wrong, but I've not seen it fluctuate at least. If it whatever it says on the app is what you're going to be charged. I've not run across any errors where it charged the wrong price or the price changed within the same day. But in my opinion, these are pretty good discounts. I mean, there's some down here that I've already scrolled over where it's like $3.40 a gallon. $3.50 a gallon, Georgia. Or we go over to California and $4.97 in California if you want to go out there. But yeah, we're going to wrap it up. Let's go ahead and but if you like this, so that's not, yeah, this is very professional. It wasn't supposed to pop up like that. All right. But if you like this, like, comment, subscribe. And if you got any suggestions, just leave them in the comments. Thank you. And I'll see you in the next one.